So in this tutorial, we're going to do a little bit of a face swap. So the first thing we should do is just set up a folder for you, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. And when you're creating a folder, if you're on a Mac, just right mouse click, new folder, and that'll create you a folder, and then you can just rename it. So, and I've already actually got a folder, so I'm just gonna, and it doesn't matter what it's called, but just get a folder. And then we're after two things. We're after some sort of image that you're gonna kind of put your face on, and then you need to take a picture of yourself too. And typically either JPEGs or PNGs are probably your best bet. So when you go to the internet, go find an image. Don't just save all these little ones. Click on it, make it bigger, and then if you right mouse click and go to save image as, then it should let you hopefully save it. And ideally you want a JPEG or a PNG. So like this one's this WebP image, and that one really won't open up into Photoshop very well. So go find something else that's like a JPEG or a PNG. And then right mouse click and save it. Once you do that, then the other option you could also do is you could actually take your image, and if you have it to the side, you could just click and drag it and drop it over there. So JPEG, and that's great. To get an image of yourself, I'm using a program called iPhoto, or sorry, not iPhoto, Photo Booth. And to get to that, if you don't know how to get to it, click on the Finder and click on Photo Booth. And then you can usually just click on it or return, and it should launch that program. And then when you're ready to take a picture, just kind of position yourself where you'd like to be. And then once you've done that, then I'm kind of looking at the picture that I'm using to put it in. So I'm going to get in that same position and just click on the button and then just face away. And then I'm ready. So I'm going to drag that, not that one, but this one right here, drag it over to my folder. And so now I have those two images ready to go. So I'm going to open up Photoshop now. So I'm here in Photoshop. If it lets you drag it right here, you can do that. I'm just going to click on the PS icon and get to this. And then I can just actually drag this and just drop it right there. And then I'm going to take my image of myself and I'm going to drag that right there too. And then grab a corner, resize it a little bit, and it's kind of switched the wrong way. So if you right mouse click while you're doing that, you can do a flip horizontal and just kind of gauge it as best as you can. We can resize it later if it doesn't quite work. Press return or click on the check. And then we're going to use this new tool in Photoshop, this selection tool. And if you click on it, it kind of shows you what it does. So we're going to click on that and then go ahead and just click, hold, and drag to make a block selection. Give it a minute to do its thing, and then I can go to my layers. So once it's selected it, go to my layer icon, click on that, and that should cut it out for the most part. So I can go and grab the selection tool, move it, try and position as best as I can on there. And then if I need to continue to edit it a little bit, I can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure you're on the mask layer. And with the brush tool, not the history brush, but this tool right here, the brush tool, I can come in here, and if it's on white, it adds. And if I flip it over to black, that'll actually take away. So I could come in here and kind of take away a little bit. Maybe I'll try and get that headset on me. And if you take away too much, so now I'm kind of feeling like I'm taking away a little bit too much. Give myself that nice Pete Carroll hairstyle. But if I notice I'm taking away too much, then I can go ahead and flip it back over to white, and I can kind of bring that back on there. So I want my ear, not his ear on that. Flip it back over to black, and I can go ahead and take that a little bit away and just kind of get in there as best as you can. And it's obviously not perfect, and if I really want to make it perfect, then it would take a little bit more time. So once I have that in there, then I'll go ahead and either call it good there, or I want to do just a little bit of lighting to myself. It looks like I have a little bit of my chin gone. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the brush tool and add that back. So I'm going to play with the lighting a little bit now. So if I click on this guy right here, the adjustment layer, and go into brightness and contrast, and when I do that, if I come up here, it just does it for everything, and I don't want it to do it for everything. So if I go in between the two layers, hold down the Alt key on my keyboard, that will indent it, and so now it only affects the one directly below it. So now I can come in here and kind of just affect that one. I'm going to do one more adjustment layer. I'm going to do the hue saturation. Same thing, it's not indented. Hold down the Alt key, and then from there I'll just take this and kind of maybe play with hue saturation and try and get it a little bit closer, and it's not working the greatest, but I'll just kind of deal with that. But and then once you have that, then hopefully you can just save it. So I'm going to go ahead and just file save, and I'm going to save it twice. So the first time I'm going to just save it as whatever this is called. So I'm going to go ahead and just name this Dream Job. Put your initials there and just save it to the same location as all your other stuff, and click OK. And then I'm going to go ahead and just save it again. So save as, click save your computer, and this time I'm going to go ahead and change it to a JPEG. You just can't type in JPEG. If you do, then it doesn't really smash it on the layers. And I'm wanting to upload this to send it as an email, or put it on a Google Doc to do something else with it. But that's how you do a simple cutout. Bump that up, and that's what you do.